Okay, so now we come to the concluding part with Chef Anand. We've been picking his brains on what's going on in Madras and what's popular food. And one thing that always intrigues people in the old days, they used to laugh at it, but now I believe it's a completely different story, and that's about Indian Chinese. So let me ask him. So Anand, what is this about Indian Chinese? Is it something to be laughed at, feel embarrassed?
Not anymore, not anymore. It's very popular. I feel it's going to be very popular all over UK and the US also.
Is it because we've already fixed the Britishers' balance?
Maybe we have a lot more Indians over there now.
Okay.
And we're changing the culinary scene in quite a few of these places with our tandoori chicken and our rotis.
Okay.
So I'd like it if we did a lot more Indian food, local Indian food.
Mm-hmm.
This Indian Chinese is gaining a lot of popularity because a lot more Indians moving in all these places.
Is that the reason?
And they enjoy it, and it's gaining the taste. It's suiting a lot of other palates.
There's a shift in
People's
taste
palates,
itself.
yes.
And is it also the sneaky little feeling that we have that the Chinese use all kinds of parts which you don't even recognize as coming out of the chicken, and and people say,
no, but
what is that piece?
Yeah,
Doesn't look like. I've never seen that
parts.
before.
No, we are not using those parts. That's
so,
definite.
So is that one reason why Indians feel comfortable when they go to a Chinese restaurant? At least the guy's going to use the breast of chicken, the thigh, the leg, and not some giblets, something which we don't even. We all chuck it out.
I don't think they use that too much in India. When you go to China, yes,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is it because we don't use it that people feel, okay, these are all the recognized pieces?
I don't think that's the reason. I think the cuisine suited our palate, and we just modified it a bit with little spice.
Okay, Chinese food generally is all about little bits and pieces which they pick with their
and milder
chopsticks.
Much milder.
Milder, yes.
Apart from the Szechuan.
Yeah, or maybe the excess salt in soy sauce.
Yeah.
So it's all aimed at and designed for what do you call it? The
chopsticks.
Chopsticks. So everything is bite sized or something. We don't do this in Indian cooking. We got a whole leg of chicken stuffed into biryani. Almost
even the Chinese food. We don't use small portions.
It's
economical for us. We get a large bowl of noodles, a large bowl of soup, which one soup will be shared by 3 people. One noodles and rice is shared by 4 people.
Okay,
so it helps us a lot.
Is that to get him to order that thing, or is it that you find
that's how it's
cheaper to make?
That's how the whole food has been conceived. The Indian Chinese food. It's served that way, and you can't change it now. You can't serve small portions.
But isn't that true of the Chinese also? They also sit with a small little bowl of rice, they shovel into their mouth and they keep digging into other.
Yeah.
But we don't do that.
We don't. We've just changed the concept, made it larger portions, and we eat in a plate, once and for all.
Okay, so it's still, what is it, like the main staple, which will be either a noodle or a rice.
Rice with
and then you keep adding on all these things, just like an Indian meal. So we switched the concept around?
But
with gravies?
To a smaller extent, because it's only 2 gravies that you will take, unlike an Indian meal where you'll have 10. You'll have 10 gravies in an Indian meal.
That's probably
smaller portions.
Because I can't make out one gravy of a Chinese dish from another gravy. They all, to be got one reddish colored one and one brownish colored one. This is the extent of it.
Yeah.
So what's the basis of their flavoring in Chinese basically?
What they use? Soya, tomato.
They use tomato?
Oyster, tomato sauce. Tomato ketchup.
Ketchup.
Yeah.
Okay. And then this oyster.
But
oyster is such a darned expensive thing all over the world. Is it oyster or is it just a name for something?
No, it is oyster. It is
glutinous.
No, it is. You get a veg version, you get the Indian version, which is not very good. It's always better.
How do you get veg?
They make it with mushroom.
So it's not oyster.
It's not an oyster sauce, but it's close to that. They make it very close to that in flavor. So the vegetarians can use it also.
Okay, so it's an artificial thing.
Artificial. It's not called oyster.
No connection. But they don't call it oyster.
Yeah, it's just a vegetarian version of that sauce.
Okay. So now you think that this might form a completely new line of Chinese food? Like they have Sichuan, whatever, Cantonese. So we'll have one Mumbai or some new name coming out. What do you think they'll call Indian Chinese?
Indian Chinese.
Just call it Indian
Chinese, yes.
And
it's very popular.
Does that vary in our country? There are some things like no Chinaman has ever heard of. I think there are quite a few. You'd probably...
Quite a few dishes. Even the chili chicken itself changes.
Chili chicken. That's
a changes
classic one.
From border to border.
Yeah, everywhere.
You'll get it red, you'll get it brown, you'll get it green.
And then you get the capsicum in it and with lots of gravy and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's the way it will happen.
Yes.
And what about all the drier things? Like we have samosas and they also have some fried stuff like wonton.
And their dumplings.
And their dumplings. Are they popular yet in our country?
Very, very popular.
There's momo.
People love to have it when they're having a drink. People love to have the drums of heaven and all these things which are
that's another interesting
invented by
I believe the drums of heaven is actually a
chicken wing.
Chicken something scraped and made into a ball. It's the most horrible thing that you should.
It's a chicken wing. It's just a chicken wing where it's just pulled down. The meat is pulled down and fried.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's it. Chicken wing.
Okay, so it's got mostly skin.
Skin and a little bit of flesh, yes.
No feathers yet.
Not yet.
They'll
not
pluck
yet.
the feathers for
Yes,
sure.
That's left out, definite. Definite.
So anyway, Anand, that's lovely talking to you. This is a good idea on what Indian specialty food is going to be in the future. You think Chennai is opening up for any new type of thing, completely different, like Korean?
Definitely.
Suitable
Definitely
for us.
it's going
I
to
know
change.
Korean restaurants are there.
No, and I think we are also changing as far as our taste buds are concerned, and we are willing to experiment and try out new food in Chennai. That's changing big time, which is good for people.
Do you see any resistance to pricing for foreign food as opposed to like you change your idli from 10 rupees to 20 rupees? They don't care. They'll still buy a 20 rupee idli.
Not really. They will not. They would like to buy a 10 rupee idli. They are very particular about that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I've seen idli is varying in price like crazy.
They
Right
do.
up to
Yes, up to
Amma's
going
effort at feeding our people is some 1 rupee an idli.
Yeah.
And
all of them are
nobody
doing
going
well.
in-
All
Yeah,
of them are
but
doing
nobody
well.
going and protesting to a major restaurant saying that, hey, look at the way the government is giving you idli at 1 rupee or 2 rupees. And why the hell are you charging 45 bucks?
Yeah.
Which they do in a Sangeeta or a Saravana Bhavan or something.
Correct.
They
Chennai
seem to be-
people are price conscious in Chennai.
But
Very
not,
price
I think
conscious.
not when it comes to South Indian food. They okay.
They will, but I don't think you could charge 200 rupees for a portion of idli with chutney and sambar, like you would do for another, maybe a continental breakfast or something.
Oh, but then 2 idlis and that's all there is. If you pile it up and make it into a larger dish, maybe they might just go in for it.
Maybe, but I don't think
Like a
that will happen.
plated South Indian meal. Anyway.
Which is possible.
Anyway, Anand, lovely having you here, and I'm sure we'll have you once more. Maybe let's see your future experiments with food that you. I'm sure you're going to get into something other than just your present restaurant. Are you got any plans?
Yes, there are.
You do.
Yes.
Are you planning to move out of the city and expand your brand? footprint?
Not for the moment. I'm quite happy in Chennai.
You're quite happy.
Very happy in Chennai.
So thanks a lot for coming.
Thank you very much, Madhav. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.